How many of you would agree that we currently live in a world filled with immorality? I mean, just overflowing with it. Look at our sexuality, the porn industry, entertainment, the drug industry, the food industry, the technology, the weapons. There are many reasons why some people don't believe in a God. But you see, the main reason is they think they don't need to. Did you know that before man could predict the weather, he prayed for it? He didn't know how it worked. He just knew, for example, that if it rained when he needed it to, it was a blessing. But now that man has the knowledge, now that man has a better understanding of how the weather works, he doesn't need God, right? It's all natural. Is it? Is it really? Now, there are many ancient writings and artifacts that have made it into our library of knowledge about the world we live in, and the Bible is one of them. Whether you believe it to be true or not, it is part of our world history and it is very significant. And along with that, there is a book that may help to fill in the blanks about who we once were and who we are today, if you bother to look. And that, my friends, is, in the words of Rod Serling, submitted for your perusal, the Book of Enoch. How many of you have seen a magician or illusionist and have been in awe at the sight of their illusion? You see, you know it's an illusion. You know it's a trick. But because you do not know how it works, to you it's magic. Oh, there must be some explanation. Yes, there is an explanation. But once it is explained, it is no longer magic. It is science. Isn't that interesting? So here's the story. Enoch. And if you don't know who Enoch was, he was the son of Jared from the 7th generation of Adam. Enoch, or Anak in Hebrew, was the father of Methuselah and the great-grandfather of Noah. He was 65 at the time of Methuselah's birth, and he walked with God for 300 years before God took him. Now, Enoch wrote this book sometime after the birth of his grandson Lamech and before the birth of his great-grandson Noah. And it was written for two reasons. One, to save his family from the great flood. And two, because the Watchers instructed him to. The Watchers. You see, no one knows how many angels there are, but there are many, and they all had jobs. Managers of the universe. And as the population of human beings began to increase significantly, several of these angelic beings began to take notice of something. The men of the earth had daughters, beautiful women, and these angels desired them. They desired children. They communicated to each other plans to take human wives for themselves. And so, according to Enoch, it was Semyaza, the leader of these angels, that said, "Listen, I know that you all do not want to do this because of the consequences you will have to face, but I am going to take the responsibility for your actions." And this total of 200 angels swore an oath. They all agreed to a bond with each other that it could not break. And so they proceeded to take wives, one each. And they did things with these women, sexual things, without discrimination. I guess their motto was anything goes. And during all this, these angels taught them charms and spells and the cutting of roots and trees. In other words, they taught them how to perform rituals and get high. And of course, these women got pregnant and bore large giants. And their height was 3,000 cubits. Now, 1 cubit is typically the length of the forearm from the tip of the middle finger to the bottom of the elbow, which is around 1.5 feet. You can do the math. That is taller than the tallest building in Dubai.